Hello, welcome to my astrology channel. This is Sad Sangat Astrology, and in this video, I will talk about the cycle of the moon we are living through. I didn't have the possibility to do this Sagittarius new moon at the time, but I think there is a lot to look in retrospective so we understand better what is going on at the moment. So we will start with the Sagittarius new moon. I will talk about the Cancer full moon. We will also talk about the next new moon in Capricorn, and we will take it from the point of view of the international events that are happening right now. But remember, this is an astrological channel, astrological conversation. I don't engage in politics. I keep my political ideas to myself because I am doing astrology. And as you will see, there are very interesting correspondences from the astrology to the events we're living through. So, and I had prepared the presentation and everything, and I was not able to do the video. But I titled that presentation Sagittarius New Moon, the Party Spoiler. And I will explain why, because this new moon in Sagittarius was squaring Saturn and Neptune subsequently. So first, the moon and the sun square Saturn, and then after the new moon, a few hours later, the moon square Neptune, and I think hours later, the sun square Neptune. So it was in a sequence, but we can consider that the new moon was in square with both of them, which is a block, right? Is a square is a change of direction. Is something that in this case it could be delayed, or it could be secret, hidden, or dissolved. So this new moon is initiating something that we don't see very clearly, and that it will take time, right? With Saturn, Saturn blocks, restrain, delays, puts an obstacle. So there are, and there is also related to time, right? It takes time. It takes preparation. It takes organization and structure. So all of those factors will be, and just pay attention to the archetypal factors that I describe, and see how they relate to either your personal events in your personal life, or the events that are publicly known from international issues. So this is the new moon chart, but I will show you the live chart later on. But this is from the point of view of Washington, D.C., which is in the moment the center of attention, right, because of the events that happened yesterday. And the new moon happened December 19 at 8:43 Eastern Time, Washington time, at 28 degrees 24 minutes, and is closely conjunct Mars out of the sign exalted in Capricorn, in the decan of Capricorn, and is very closely conjunct Venus. But as I said, Venus is squaring Saturn, and the Sun and the Moon are squaring both Saturn and Neptune, the midpoint, let's say. So I'll show you all the charts later on. But if you think my material is interesting to you, don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you support me that way, it doesn't cost anything. If you like my video, give it a thumbs up, and also I invite you to visit my blog, satsangat.astrology.blogspot.com, because there I have a series called The World That Is Coming, and analyzing the transits that are coming in the next few years. And one of them was one of the articles that I wrote was research about the conjunction of Mars and the Sun in the sign of Capricorn. So I searched historically, and I saw the events associated with that kind of, let me see, that kind of conjunction. And I found very interesting information that it also relates to what is happening right now. So without any other details, I will now share. The charts that we will discuss with you. Here you have the Sagittarius new moon in at 28 degrees with the ascendant in Leo in Washington, D.C. So it's 18 degrees. It's already not announcing good things for Washington, D.C. The 18 degrees is associated with crimes and assassinations and all kinds of fateful things, according to Nicolas who had done extensive research on that. He wrote a book about the degrees in astrology. Is the degree of Virgo. It corresponds to the sign of Virgo, and Virgo is associated with problems that need to be resolved. So, so this is one thing. The ruler of Leo, or the ascendant, is the sun and the new moon, and as I said before, square Saturn, square Neptune. So whenever it started here, it will take time. It will be restrained for some reason. It will be something that will not be easy, because Saturn will stop, delay, put obstacles, as I said. And then the square to Neptune, and Neptune really dissolves whatever got started there. Neptune will just evaporize whatever it was started. So it's something like, as I said, a party spoiler, associating it with because the new moon was the 19th of December, so associating that idea with the holidays and all that. And well, there were some issues with the holidays. I heard that in the news that the flights were stopped from the Caribbean and going to and from the Caribbean. Many people got stranded there because they couldn't return home or they couldn't go. So it was kind of chaotic, something typical of Neptune, especially in Pisces, right? And Saturn does not behave very well in the sign of his opposing, let's say, planet, because Jupiter is the ruler, the traditional ruler of Pisces, and they're not in the same page, right? Jupiter wants to facilitate things. Jupiter wants to expand and make great, and Saturn really wants to contract and get things smaller and cold. Jupiter is warm and happy, and Saturn is cold uh, and really not a good friend to for the holidays, right? Not a good friend to celebrate. So there are many things in this chart because the ruler of the new moon is being Jupiter is in the 12th house. Remember that I work tropical and whole sign houses. And Jupiter in Cancer is in the 12th house, in the decan of Pisces. So there's something started here in the 5th house, by the way, is doing it's been done in secret and behind the scenes, and I will explain why later on, and in a kind of deceiving way, because it's the decan of Pisces, where things are all is mingled with all, and everything is everything, and it's very confusing, chaotic. So Jupiter in Cancer, it is. It is representing this new moon as something that is being done behind the scenes. And there are more factors that will show that. And in square with Aries, with Chiron in Aries. So Chiron, we know in Aries is vulnerability, and it's in the ninth house of foreign issues, foreigners, foreign affairs, foreign countries. So Venus is closely conjunct and invisible. So there is a feminine aspect here, something feminine, or the desires, bridal desires that are being taken into this initiation. This new moon is a new thing that is going to come out, and there is some feminine factor here that is not seen, that is not clear, and there are several factors that influence that, and one of them is that Venus is getting ready to conjunct the Sun, but on the other side of the Sun, behind the Sun from our Earth perspective. So what happens is that whatever is going to happen with this, possibly a woman, or is not evident, is being done in secret. Mars is also occult because he is traveling also behind the sun from our perspective on Earth. And there are other factors because at that time, the Venus is going to enter right after uh, declination, a higher declination south that put her um, out of bounds. So out of the bounds of the sun, and that will be on the 21st. So on the 21st, 2 days later, she will be not only behind the sun, but also out of bounds. And we know now the sun hits its line, its shadow around the Tropic of Capricorn on the Earth. And Venus is passing that south. Mars will be also, Mars has been out of bounds since the last day of November, since the 29th of November, and it will be out of bounds until the full moon. So Mars is also out of bounds south, which makes these three, the Sun, Mars, and later Venus as well, they will be parallel, meaning that by the full moon, we will see, they will have a double conjunction, and I will explain and show you what it means. So it's also in conjunct almost exactly Chiron. So this means that there is a surprise in the 10th house of let's see, the public view. There is a surprise that is coming up. And it needs an adjustment with this new thing that is being started. So that's all I want to talk about this chart, but now I will change and show you the next chart. So here we have the Cancer full moon. And this full moon happened January 3rd at 5:02 Washington time. And the moon is, there are several factors affecting this moon. One of them is she's out of bounds. And you know, it behaves very out of the norm. And she is at perigee, meaning this weird word means close to the earth. And since she's close to the earth, she has a stronger magnetic pull on the waters. So the tides are higher, and then there is a lot of water retention, especially in women. And if there is a storm, it will be a huge storm with lots of water. And she's also in the decan of Scorpio, meaning that there is a powerful transformation here of the security of the homeland, the security of a country, security of a nation, and homes, the security of homes and families. And ruled by Pluto, Scorpio can be very crisis prone. So this is a crisis moon. So with this kind of full moon, we can expect a crisis developing. And also once the moon hits Jupiter, there is an expansion of emotions all over the world, right? Jupiter expands and reaches all corners of the world. More so because Jupiter is in the decan of Pisces. So the is a diffusion and um, all over the world. So, and we have seen all of that. Every country is worried about their own security, which is what the sign of Cancer inspires, because Cancer is very concerned about the security of the homeland, the families, the homes. So all those factors intervened in this full moon. And the moon is opposed by Venus, the sun, obviously, that's the full moon, and Mars. So at this point, Venus is out of bounds, and the sun is barely higher than the Tropic of Capricorn, because at the solstice it was on top of the Capricorn tropic, and now is going north, right? But the three of them are with declination south. Was this what you see here in this wheel is the longitude, right? Is and what I'm talking about by latitude, by declination, is latitude. So they are both beyond the Tropic of Capricorn, even farther than the sun, because the sun for a few days has been going north. So, as I said, because Venus and Mars are on the other side of the sun, we cannot see them. Not only are they covered by the sunbeams and the brightness of the sun, but they are also behind from the Earth's perspective. So they are hidden, and whatever they are up to is secret. So there is a military force with Mars in Capricorn. That's typical. It's Mars in Capricorn represents the troops on the ground, represents the military, and Venus represents with the sun represents our most strongest desires, even unbridled passions, whatever we desire the most, and even it can represent greed. Because Venus is out of bounds, so every desire is exaggerated, and so this combination of Venus and Mars is very impulsive and violent to go and get what I want. So, and very selfish also with the sun. So the three of them are in the decan of Taurus, ruled by Venus, by the way. And the decan of Taurus is looking for resources from the earth, resources that we need to survive. Everything that, for example, Taurus is associated with the money that we make in order, the bank, for example, the banking finances in the bank, but finances there are individual finances. In this case, in the sign of Capricorn, there could be finances or resources of a certain structure or political system. So you see how these archetypes are resonating or are vibrating with the events that develop during this full moon, because the invasion of Venezuela and the capture of its president happened almost exactly at the full moon. So let me show you the comparison of the chart of Venezuela with the full moon. So here we are. In the center, you see the chart of Venezuela, and outside is the full moon. So look at the full moon in Cancer, 13 degrees, right on top of the sun of Venezuela. And the sun of Venezuela not only represents the president in this case, uh, but it also rules the midheaven, or the 10th and the 10th house, which is its public image, the image of Venezuela in the world, and its role in the world. So this full moon directly on top of the sun. It looks like it was either a predestination, or it was very well planned with an astrologer, maybe. Who knows? Um, and here we have the sun opposing the sun, Venus opposing the sun. And Venus again, this Venus 12 degrees and Sun 12 degrees. This Venus in the third house, it may be a woman who is in the environment and close by, because of the third house in the neighborhood, let's say. So you see how these things are, astrology is so real. You can't make it up. It's just perfect. So the ascendant of the Venezuela is in Scorpio, indicating the many deaths and rebirths that Venezuela has had in the past, and its Mars and Uranus are rising. So we're talking about a country that is militarized, and that has this explosive conjunction in the ascendant. So it's a very strong, very, very strong ascendant with its own ruler, Scorpio, with a traditional ruler. Now, what else? I think that's it for this chart. Pluto is coming, transiting the fourth house, which is a transformation of the land and the transformation of the opposing party of the party in power would be Leo, and the opposition party will be in Aquarius. So there is a powerful transformation, death and rebirth of the opposing party, and also of the people. The fourth house is very associated with the people, but also with the land and the resources that are below the ground, right, underground. So I think that's everything for this. Let me show you the next pair. Okay, here you have the Sibley chart, which is the United States chart with the ascendant at 12 Sagittarius, and outside is the full moon in Cancer. And if you think about it, the Sagittarius new moon happened here on the ascendant and squared by Saturn and Neptune in the fourth house of the people. And also of the opposing party. So those were things that we didn't hear because we only heard the opinion of the president and his collaborators or his advisors and his ministers. But we haven't heard yet about what the opposing party is saying. Anyways, at least if they have talked not as loudly. Anyways, so the Cancer full moon is exactly on the sun of the United States, opposing the other sun, right? Is one sun opposing the other sun. And the sun in the chart of the United States rules the ninth house in Leo, and the North Node in the ninth house represents everything that has to do with foreigners, foreign countries, foreign affairs. So this full moon is shedding the light on not only the president represented by the sun, but also the ninth house of foreign relations. And here we have this triple conjunction in the second house of the country, which is the assets of the country, the money, reserves, the resources, everything that the country needs to sustain itself. Be it money, resources, everything that one country needs in order to survive. So in here we see the Sun and Mars and Venus as described before. So remember, this conjunction, Venus, Sun, Mars, is very tight in longitude, but is double because when planets are in the same declination, in this case, declination south, they are considered stronger conjunction than longitudinal conjunction. So, but at the same time, is two times. They are conjunct by longitude and by declination. So it's very, very, very strong. So the desires, the impulse, the attack, everything was very, very strong. And it's by the way is as the new moon in Sagittarius was squaring Saturn and Neptune. This full moon is squaring Saturn, the natal Saturn of the United States. And the 11th house in a country is associated with the legislative powers, with the Congress, with the House of Representatives, the senators, so the people who make the laws. So I figured that this event will be severely restricted by the law, by the lawmakers. severely, strongly disapproved by the law. So we will see what is coming. But that's all I wanted to say about this pair. Let me show you some more. So here we have again the Sibley chart, the United States chart, and outside you have the new moon in Capricorn. And it will be with Mars and Mercury on top of Pluto. So, I think there will be strong conversations. The conjunction of Mercury and Mars is explosive verbal conflicts and very violent communications regarding resources, in this case, in the second house. The new moon in Capricorn happens 19th, let's see, 18th of January. And by then, Mercury won't be out of bounds. Venus, no. Mars, no. But the moon will be out of bounds. And the moon is a new moon, again, out of bounds on top of Pluto. So here we have, of course, a powerful transformation that is being seeded. Seeded meaning this new moon is the seed of something new in the assets or the resources of the country. And at the same time, this big conversation and verbal conflicts and discussions about resources. And as I said before, we will be harvesting, let's say, the consequences of the previous full moon events that were square Saturn, right? So the other thing is that Venus is coming already forming a conjunction with Pluto. And this means a powerful transformation of money, resources, desires, right? Venus is no longer out of bounds by this time. And so she is now evening star. Before she was, when we saw the new moon in Sagittarius and the full moon in Cancer, she was a morning star until the conjunction with the sun. So she was more prone to like a go-getter, right? And more so in conjunction with Mars. But now she is more subdued, her desires are more tender, more quieter, I would say, not just outgoing, but more reserved, more introverted, if you like. So, and is in a wide opposition with the retrograde Jupiter, which is midpoint between Mercury and the Sun. So something might have to do with that. And what else we have? I think that's it for this pair. Now we will talk about resources a little bit and some of the news that I found um, related to another subject that has a lot to do with this. Um, okay, so this is a chart of August the 20th, 2025. And what happens here, I'm going to turn on the light. What happens here is that Saturn was at 0 degree 45 minutes of Aries. And this is the degree, the exact place where their conjunction, Saturn Neptune conjunction, will happen February the 20th. So at this time, I will show you what the news talk about because this will be the antecedent of the events that will bring the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. And we will talk about not only when Saturn was at 0, but Neptune was in September at 0 45 retrograde. However, they were direct as well, but I didn't have time to research that, and I'll leave you the information in the description below, and you look for yourself the news for those dates. So now I will share with you the news for August 20th, 2025. So here you have a list of the headlines for August 20, 2025. There's a lot about Gaza and Israel. Let's see if we find something about Venezuela. So, August 20, 2025, Venezuela mobilizes 4.5 million soldiers as Trump deploys U.S. Marines to the Caribbean. So I don't know if Venezuela may have said that they have 4.5 million soldiers. We don't know. Actually, there's no way to confirm actually, but this is what the news was talking about at that time. Other things, this is about the Mexican president. I'll leave this. You can pause and read. What else? Well, these are the news. Okay, so these are the news. This is regarding Epstein files and such. Okay, so those are the news for, and I will show you the September 23rd. That's when Neptune was at 0 45 retrograde. And of course, the headlines start with Palestine, Israel, and France and these other countries recognizing the state of Palestine. Of course, those are the news. And here, remember, this is Neptune. It's chaos. It's things that are probably have a reach all over the world. So here we have the Supreme Court allows Trump to fire the Federal Trade Commissioner. This is about free speech and suppression. This is about health immigrants, things that are domestic information. Here, Colombian government terminates arms purchases from the United States. As tensions rise with Trump administration over the accusations of Colombia about trafficking drugs. And here we have a news about Maduro. White House rebuffs offer by Maduro for direct talks with Trump. So this news at least shows that Nicolas Maduro was open because he offered to engage in direct talks with President Trump, aimed at de-escalating the U.S. naval buildup near Venezuela's coast. So things are already building up. Okay, so I think you can look for the news on your own and different sources of news. That's something that I found very rapidly. So now I have here the what do I have here? The conjunction. Let me see. Swap it. Okay. So we have the chart for the Federal Reserve, which is the bank that holds the money of the United States. December 23, 1913 at 6:02 p.m. In the center. And we have the conjunction Saturn and Neptune at the midheaven of the Federal Reserve. So this, of course, could mean restructuring or dissolution of the structures of this entity. Not only is conjuncting the midheaven, but is square Pluto in Cancer in the sign of the ascendant, and is squaring the sun on the sign of the descendant. The sun rules the second house of money, right? The resources. And Pluto rules the fifth house, which represents, let's see, I already put it away. It represents the expansion of a country, even though this is not a chart of a country. But you can take a look. You can stop the video, and if you understand what astrology is, then you can analyze the chart. Jupiter is still retrograde at 15 degrees over the ascendant. So is there an expansion of the reserve? We don't know. Jupiter will come back direct over the ascendant and over the whole ascendant sign. It will go, Jupiter will go, was already over Mars, 19 Cancer, and it will come back over Mars and then over Neptune. So there is a lot going on for the Federal Reserve, and this conjunction happens February the 20th, 2026. By the way, is a Friday, and the Friday is the day of Venus. So everything here is, for example, Mercury is on the north node, and it already had the nodes return already. is past already. Now the North Node is on top of Chiron. So, and all these planets are in Pisces, with the North Node, which means there is a lot of reaching out to foreign countries, foreign affairs, and such. So, yeah, there's a lot to say about this chart, but I think that's enough to know that something big is coming for the Federal Reserve of the United States. So there are only two more things I would like to share with you. So you think about these things. This is the chart of the inauguration of the current presidency, and of course the sun is always in Aquarius, 054, and in conjunction with Pluto, applying. So so this is a very powerful and empowered presidency, and empowered party in power. However, there are other things that Pluto represents, not only power. Pluto also represents decay. And we have seen, for example, the decline of the president's health, which is obvious at the moment. And other things that Pluto represents is having a profound transformation through death and rebirth, meaning that the president may, or the office of the president may experiment, or it may happen that the president could, for example, go into a process of crisis, and then comes back, for example, or that this president goes away for whatever reason it is, and then there is a transformation of the presidency, that someone else takes his place. So Pluto works in demolition mode, right? Pluto is associated with decay, in the sense that it's associated with recycling. For example, compost is something associated with Pluto. And by then, what I mean is there is no lotus if there is no mud, right? So we need the composition in order to give birth to new life. So if you are a farmer, for example, you understand pretty well what I'm talking about. Even if you are a gardener and you have your plants in a pot, you know that the earth, the soil that you use, it is plenty of decomposition and bacteria and things in there. However, it has the potential to give new life. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say about this. There is a big T square with Chiron. Mercury is in the ninth house of foreign affairs, right? It's 18 degrees, which is not a very auspicious degree, according to the late Nicolas Maduro astrologer. and then squaring the moon at 18 degrees of Libra, and Chiron 19 degrees of Aries. By the way, Chiron spent almost a couple of years at 19 degrees, coming and going and coming and going. So he nailed, Chiron nailed down the 19th degree. So this T square may be very representative of what is happening during this presidency. Okay, so and we have Mars in the IC. So, and one last thing I would like to share, just give me a second. So the last thing is the Aquarius new moon. It is on top of the moon of the United States, 28 degrees of Aquarius, which not only is it a new moon, is also an eclipse. Is the first solar eclipse of the in the axis of Aquarius Leo. And there are a few things to say about this. You've seen those slow moving planets, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, coming from the last degree of a sign and transitioning to the new sign during 2025 and the beginning of 2026. The first few months when, of course, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus will transition to the new sign. So we, during 2024, 2026, 2025, and beginning of 2026, we have seen these endings. There is a lot of endings and closing the matters in those houses, probably in your personal life as well, in the houses occupied by Capricorn, by Pisces, and Taurus. So now, and the other thing is that the eclipses in Virgo and Pisces were, for the most part, the majority, except only one solar eclipse, all the rest eclipses in Virgo, Pisces were lunar. And lunar eclipses are mostly completions and achievements and culminations, and things come to the highest point of development. And from there, there's nothing else, is only waning, right? The cycle of the moon is waning after that, after a full moon. So we see culminations, endings, final things happening, and things that are being left behind, things that we are no longer using. And now we have eclipses. We will start having eclipses in the axis of Aquarius and Leo, and they are more than the previous ones. Let me count them. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 eclipses in that axis, and most of them are solar. There are a couple of lunar, but those lunars are in Virgo, Pisces, and Capricorn. And there is only one lunar eclipse in Aquarius at 24 degrees. So we will see in the next couple of years, we will see a lot of new beginnings, new things coming up. We leave behind old structures, old things, and we come to new, what is new. We are building. During 2026, something will completely disappear, and we are building something new. Actually, I don't know, at a global level, I don't know what it is, but we are seeing right now, like the precursors, let's say. This solar eclipse in Aquarius is also in square with Uranus, so it brings surprises. It brings things that are really not foreseen. Because what happens is that Uranus, whatever you expect, Uranus brings something else. And with an eclipse, it's going to be dramatic, that's for sure. And also, well, I don't want to go back and do again with the U.S. chart, but you know, the moon in U.S. chart is in the third house, in whole sign house, and it is 27 degrees. And what happens is that the moon rules the eighth house of the country. So if we have an eclipse on the ruler of the eighth house, we will have issues, whatever new beginning regarding financial matters, investments, the stock market, the currency, the insurances, for example, everything that has to do with the eighth house, death and rebirth, crisis, crises, things that are dramatic. There are really powerful, transformative events. So, and the moon also by herself represents the people. And of course, it's going to be very highly emotional. This happens February 17, right 3 days before the Saturn Neptune conjunction, which they are already in conjunction at 0 degrees. So by the end of February, we'll see so much upheaval in this country and reverberating all over the world. Something really big. I have no idea, except that, as I said, that is related to finances. Shared finances, and the finances of the alliances with the allies, or the finances of the enemies, because the eighth house is the second house from the seventh. So whatever contracts, business contracts this country has, those finances will be affected, because eighth house is the finances of those associates. And it's also the power and the resources of the enemies, because also the seventh house is the open enemies. So we will see. So definitely 2026 is not a year to stay calm and uneventful, all the contrary. So 2026 is the year that you will remember that you turned 90 degrees, 180 degrees your life, because of events that happened outside in the world. So these slow planetary movements affect most of all society, and things that are beyond the individual, but affects you personally nonetheless by consequence. So with this, I will share my contact information here. because if you are interested, you can order your reading of your chart, your consultation. I do a vocational orientation. I do analysis of synastry charts, composites charts, and I can give you, for example, tips or interpretation of relationships, be it with your partner or be it with your boss, with your brother, with your father, with your mother or sister. So no matter what relationship you have, suppose that you have a problem with a certain relationship, not only romantic, you can have an analysis and learn how that person works with you particularly, and tips on how to overcome difficulties and get a better relationship. So don't hesitate to contact me at the email on the screen. I also teach an introductory course where it's very, very thorough. It's a whole year of classes. And once a month, you have 1 hour consultation, private consultation with me to respond all the questions that you might have from the classes in a private setting. So I think this is very attractive for people who probably don't want to ask questions in the public class. Anyways, so I offer that, and if you like asking questions, you can comment below the video. Please subscribe to my channel. It's nothing cost, it costs nothing to you, and it helps me a lot. So give it a thumbs up, share the video. Please do that favor to me, who I'm not monetizing my channel, so my only income is from clients. Now, for you, you spend nothing clicking the like video. So I really appreciate your visiting my channel, and I will see you next time.